Target panic is a crippling condition that can affect anybody. Today I'm demonstrating with a traditional bow, but it affects any kind of archer, Olympic recurve, bare bow, traditional, Asiatic, compound. Anyone of any experience level can develop target panic. What does it look like? It might look something like this. Or it might look something like this. Many of the signs or behaviors that people with target panic exhibit can often seem irrational or illogical, can be baffling for the archer and the coach. Oftentimes we don't give the right advice. We might assume that they need to hold longer, or perhaps they need to use a lighter draw weight. But without understanding the underlying causes of target panic, we're kind of just chasing things around, and unfortunately target panic is not something that can be passively solved. It must be actively trained out of. Today's lesson will focus on a drill which I give to my learners who are showing signs of target panic, and how we can use this to overcome that weakness and get our archery back on track. What is target panic? Target panic is when your shot process is dictated by an external trigger, and that trigger is this, the goal, or the target, or the buck, or the animal, whatever you're shooting at. This is guiding your shot. Not guiding, controlling your shot. That means that when you see gold and your sight or your arrow point comes here, you let go or you freeze. Whatever the symptom is, you can no longer follow your process. So our goal in mending target panic is to restore that process. If you don't have a process, if you just pull it back and let go and it hits someone target, then your first step is to develop a process. Make a series of steps that you can follow every single shot. If you do have a process, reinforce it. Oftentimes, people who have a shot process stop following it. When you learn archery or you train and you develop what works for you, you blueprint exactly what works for you, exactly what steps you say to yourself to make every shot the same, to make every shot happen. Because if you take shortcuts and you stop saying it, you stop doing it. You have to tell your brain what to do. This goal is currently overwriting your programming. It is overruling your decision making. So you must restore the code, restore your decision making, your agency, so that this stops controlling it, you start controlling it. This doesn't make the decision. You make the decision. If you reach the stage where you feel you don't control the shot, the first step is be humble. Move your target in. Now, there's a technique called blank bow shooting, where you shoot at a blank target. So you can remove this target. Unfortunately, underneath my target is a gold block. So this goes through to the other side, like a lot of foam targets. If I remove my target, I'm still going to see gold. So I can't use blank bow shooting. So instead, I'm going to take a different approach. I'm going to use blind bow shooting. And in this case, I'm going to close my eyes. I'm not going to see the target. That's why I'm at a distance where I can't miss. I'm not going to overshoot or do something really dangerous. I'm simply going to pull it back, close my eyes, and let go. But it isn't as simple as that. A lot of people do a blind bow shooting, will try and passively just do the same thing over and over again and hope it works when you open your eyes and move it back. We don't want to do passive. We want to actively change our thought process so that we make conscious decisions on every step. As I said before, you need a process. If you have one, follow it. If you don't have one, make one. It doesn't have to be complex, doesn't have to need like 10 steps. You don't need to follow those prescribed shot manuals. You can simply do a process which reminds you what to do for each step. Now, I'm going to go through a model process. Each person will be different. This doesn't have to be what you do. Each person has a unique style and a different mental process, but I'm just showing you a mental process which has assisted at least one of my learners. So the process I've made up just now for this demonstration is max, hold, 2, 3, push. So this process involves me hitting my maximum back tension. I'm going to hold for at least a 2 count, and then I'm going to choose to push. Now there's a caveat in this. I'm not going to say and count out loud. I'm going to squeeze my toe, because when we count, we always count too fast. We cannot keep a straight tempo or straight rhythm because our brains accelerate faster than our actions. So when I say hold 2, 3, I'm actually going to squeeze my toe once, twice, and then push. This little tip I give to people is don't rely on a mental count, rely on a physical count. It's easier to keep track of because you can't squeeze your toe any faster than like squeeze. Try it yourself. You can't squeeze go because your toe doesn't work that way. It has to like contract and then go back and then contract. So it's a nice way to keep a solid count. So when I say max, that's my max back tension. I'm saying hold 2, 3. It's hold, squeeze, squeeze, and then I'm going to say push, which is my expand motion. Again, this is a model demonstration. Can be your shot process. If this works for you, do it. If you don't have one, try this. But I'm going to address my weaknesses and make this work. So I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to first say the steps, close my eyes, and execute. It is essential that you say the steps. If you don't say it, you won't do it. Say it and do it. So my steps are max, hold, 2, 3, push. Close my eyes. Max, hold, squeeze, 2, 3, push. Good. It doesn't matter where the arrow goes. I'm standing 1 meter away. All I care about, my success criteria, is I followed my steps and I do it again. This is training. This is drilling. This is meant to be fun. There's no scoring here. You need to overcome this psychological weakness by drilling. We do the same thing. Say it out loud. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. We do it again. Say it out loud. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. I'm not worried about my perfect shots or collapses. I'm just worried about getting a shot process ingrained. I'm gonna shoot all my arrows, same thing. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. And do it again. Again, I'm doing the physical tap. I'm counting with my toes, not my mind. I'm counting aloud for the camera, but I'm actually squeezing my toe. Same thing. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. And so on. I've got more of my arrow, but that's what I'm demonstrating here. So that's my drill. We have to do this many times. You cannot fix target panic with a single practice run or single practice end, because you're trying to overcome a program that is overwriting your code. That target is dictating to me what I should do. So I'm closing my eyes to remove the target and I'm reprogramming. I'm rebuilding my process. I'm going, okay, that doesn't matter. I'm saying to myself, max, hold, 2, 3, push. And that mental process is what you must ingrain. That's why you must say it out loud. If you have a coach, your coach will tell you this. I will tell my learner that they will do this step by step every single time. I'll be in the ear shouting it every single time. When you're by yourself, you need to shout it. You need to let go of the inhibition of, no, I don't want to say it out loud, I'm too shy, it'd be already awkward. No, I don't care. We're drilling. This is training. You have a condition which will ruin you if you don't overcome it. So say it out loud and do it. Say it and do it. And again, if you don't say it, I'm gonna go, all right, I've got my head now. Yeah, all right, I'll do it. Close my eyes. And people do that. And then the coach will ask, well, why didn't you hold? No, I don't know. Did you say it? No. Then say it. So again, my steps are max, hold, 2, 3, push. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. And again, I squeeze my toe. I'm not counting, I'm not saying it loud in my head. I'm squeezing my toe, which is helping remind you to tell you that I'm counting. That's how I count. People do it different ways. I might go 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 banana, whatever the case. But you need to maintain a count that you can reliably fall on. Because under pressure, under stress, you're gonna accelerate. You're gonna go faster than you think you are. And you're gonna do this over and over again. So what do we do now? We need to show progress. We need to show that we can do this. So I'm going to open my eyes. And I'm going to try to see if I can do 6 good controlled shots exactly to my process. So if I do a shot now, I don't have target panic. This is my problem. But if someone did have target panic, this might be the case. You might go, okay, say it, max, hold, 2, 3, push. Max, hold, and this happens a lot. All right, you think you've overcome that barrier, but when you see gold again, you pull it back, it just tells you to let go. Okay, I screwed up. So now what? Reset back to 0. Close my eyes, say it, and do it again. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. Okay, I'm not going to open my eyes. Because I screwed up my first shot, my next 4, 5 shots are going to be eyes closed. And then I restart. And it doesn't matter if I screwed up my first shot or my last shot. If I screwed up, I restart from 0, close my eyes for the rest of the shots and do it again. I need to get 6 controlled shots. Many people will not achieve that in their session because it takes a lot of uphill work to overcome an ingrained psychological barrier. But you can only do that by actively fighting against it, by actively pushing uphill. You know you need 6, so you go for 6. Eventually you'll be frustrated, and when you're frustrated, you don't give up. You pay more attention to what you are doing. So you force yourself to do that count. So once again, eyes open, I'll go max, hold, 2, 3, max, hold, 2, 3, push, and I'll do it again. As long as it takes to do 6. Say it out loud, never skip. I was tempted to because I'm rushing. No, slow down, say it. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. And so on. If I get 6 in a row, I've met my goal, we go to the next level. We bring the target back to what we were shooting. Now if we're shooting 10 meters, go 10 meters. You can graduate step by step. If you're shooting at 50, 60, 70 meters and you're having target panic, you go straight back to 70 meters. Because now you're trying to prove that your shot process has been ingrained. That means you can follow it no matter what distance, what target. We're back at 10 meters, let's do this again at 10 meters. Now this distance matters because we are opening our eyes. We're not shooting our eyes close to distance, that's dangerous. So we're shooting eyes open. But we're now focusing purely on our steps, our process which we've ingrained, we've said it aloud countless times. We're going to see if we can say it and do it while aiming at a target. And if we do it correctly, then our process has won. We have a blueprinted process which now overpowers the urge to let go when we see gold. So again, never skip the steps. Say it. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. I don't care the quality of the shot. Was it controlled? Did I hold? I did. Success. Now, let's emulate that failure, okay? Let's say I'm that sort of person who has skipped it, I've rushed, yes, I've got it, I'll do it again. And this happens a lot. I'm not acting here, this happens. Again, people get excited. And when people get excited, they stop saying the steps, they skip, they take shortcuts, and they screw up. What do we do now? We go back to 0. So, bow down, get your target, and we're back at our blind belt shooting. And we do it with our eyes closed again. So, whatever the mistake was, you fix it. Our mistake was we didn't say it, so now we say it. Max, hold, 2, 3. And we do it again, eyes closed for all the shots. This is our punishment for not doing it right. We say it. Max, hold, 2, 3, push. And once we get all the shots out, then we do it again. Eyes open, this distance, 6 arrows. We graduate, we go back and we do it again. Eyes open, 6 controlled shots. If we do it then, we push it back and we do it again. Anytime we screw up and we lose control of the shot, we bring it back in. It is meant to be frustrating. It is meant to push you, because if you don't get frustrated enough, you're not going to fix it. You give yourself a chance, you go, that's only a slight error, I'll be fine next time. No, it's only me, I'll do it right. No, you won't. The more excuses you give yourself, the more chances you give yourself, the more you let this goal trigger your shot process. The more you let it overwhelm your mental cycle, so that when you shoot, you're not in control. That is. And that is my target panic drill. I've done it to a few people and it is humbling, because you're no longer being pressured by trying to shoot a score, trying to shoot a target ring or a personal best. You're shooting only for yourself, because you are restoring, repairing, or even just building from scratch a shot process. Once again, my process I'm showing here isn't my actual process, nor is it your process. If you don't have one and you want to try it, you can use it, but whatever steps you say out loud, make sure you say it out loud. You have to tell yourself, treat yourself like a child that needs to be told what to do, because if you don't, you won't do it. So by saying it over and over again, repeat with your eyes closed over and over again. Make sure you do it with your eyes closed over and over again. By doing that, you are building a foundation. You are building your coding. You are building your programming. You are building your checklist. Because every time you skip those steps, you won't do it. And that triggers target panic, because something else is telling you what to do. No, you are the one that tells you what to do. This is not an instant fix. This will take time to settle, to become permanent. And if you don't do it properly, it's a step backwards. So you must be disciplined in doing this. If you know you are struggling with target panic, don't guess. Go straight to blank belt shooting or blind belt shooting. Do close distance, close your eyes, do the steps, repeat, repeat, repeat. This could be your entire training session. It could be an hour, 2 hours, it could be a whole afternoon where you do only this. But I assure you, if you are disciplined in doing this drill, this training, you will start to come back and starts to feel good again. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting and helpful. If you've been through target panic, share your story. Like, what happened? Like, how did you feel? How long was your slump for? And what did you do to get out of it? Or did you get out of it? Share your thoughts, experiences, and comments below. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time.